Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to the session today. Good evening. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
That's great, great. Thanks guys for confirming. So let us start this session, guys. So if you guys remember, so yesterday we have seen about how and the cloud overview we have seen, why we need the cloud platform and what is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud that we have seen yesterday. Today I'm going to tell you that in Google Cloud Platform we have a plenty of services, right? In Google Cloud Platform we have a plenty of services available for data storage, for data processing, for data analysis. You have a plenty of tools available or services available. If I wanted to work with Google Cloud Platform services, how can I be able to interact with them and how to interact with those services for my data engineering activities? So let us try to understand on that point today. Okay, so first let me open the Google Cloud Platform and how it looks like also I would like to show you today. So for you, if I'm going to tell you for you how to create a free tier account in the upcoming sessions, don't worry about that. Now just have an idea that how a GCP looks like and how the services are categorized. I'm going to show you here. So first let me go to the console. Our home page is console.cloud.google.com. So the web page that we have to go to interact with the GCP services is console.cloud.google.com. So you can go and click on this one, the console, Google Cloud Console. So this is how our web page looks like, guys, for console. And here, this is what I call it as a left navigation menu. This is your project area. This is your search box for the services, and you have a plenty of features here. Okay, so this is your left navigation menu where you will be able to see plenty of services or tools, whatever you call. And this is your project area. In our upcoming sessions, what is a project and how to create the project and how to track the billing with help of the project, all of those details. Let us try to understand it later. And this is where a search box for your services. So if you wanted to find it here, you can able to go and check it out to select a proper service, or else you can also search some service from here from the search box, and you can also select that particular service whichever you want it to work with. And here you have a plenty of options. You have a Gemini, which is a AI, which is exactly similar to your chat GPT. If you have any questions, you can also ask Gemini. Okay, and here you have a freestyle status button. As I told you, whatever we are going to do, all our activity is going to be done in the free trial account only. So I'm going to tell you in our upcoming sessions how to create a free trial account. You see here, I am left with 21,000 rupees and 68 days are remaining. Okay, so this is how I'll show you how to create that later. And here we have a few more options, that is activate cloud shell button. And here this is a notification, and here you have some settings related to your project, and this is your account for creating your project. So all of these things. So this is your page where you will be able to see all of these things. Okay, so I just given you some kind of an overview. So sir, now the thing is that, sir, I have these services, I have this many services. Even if I click on this view all product also, I should be able to see all the products total. You can see here 4,500 products in the marketplace in the Google Cloud Platform. You can see you have a management services, you have a compute services, you have a storage services. See here the services here. This is a category, this is a service. So this is an analytic services. So you have plenty of services available, guys. A plenty of services with a different category. Sir, I wanted to work with the services because I'm a data engineer, sir. I wanted to work with the services so that I can able to do my data engineering activities. So what are the interface available? So that is what is our agenda today. So if you wanted to interact with any of the services in the GCP, so you have total 4 methods are available. Okay, the very first method is console, cloud console, and the second method is the cloud shell, and the third method is cloud SDK. The fourth method is third-party tools or APIs. So via API or a third-party tools, you can also do that. So you have total 4 methods are available. One is console, a cloud shell, a cloud SDK, and APIs and third-party tools. Okay, so let us try to understand each and every interface method in a very detail, so that we need to have a very good understanding on all of these things, guys, so that you can able to work with comfortable with each and every service in the upcoming. Okay, so that is the reason I'm going to tell you each and everything in a very detail now. Look at here. First thing is that cloud console. The very first interacting method is that a cloud console, guys. Okay, the very first method is cloud console, and the next method is cloud shell, and you have third method is cloud SDK. So you have total three methods are there. One is cloud console, cloud shell, cloud SDK. So what is cloud console? What is cloud console? A cloud console is a graphical user interface. What is this one, sir? It is a graphical user interface to interact with the services visually. So 1 minute, guys. So in Google Cloud Platform, you have public services, right? So if you wanted to interact with the services, you have console, cloud shell, and cloud SDK. What is cloud console? So cloud console is one of the graphical user interface to interact with the services. It is one more thing is that it is a web-based. It is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the services. So if you have a GCP services, if you are wanted to interact with them, how do you interact with the graphical user interface, guys? Can anyone tell me how do we interact with the graphical user interface? Via visually. Visually, you are going to interact with them, right? So a console is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services visually. Okay, sir, what we can do? Sir, what we can do here? So if you wanted to create a bucket, if you wanted to create a bucket in the GCS, or sir, if you wanted to create a table in the BigQuery, don't worry about what are these services. In our upcoming sessions, we are going to discuss each and every service. Just try to understand, we are planning to create any resource. That means in general, if you wanted to create any resource in the GCP, if you wanted to create any resource in the GCP, such as, sir, I wanted to create a bucket in the Google Cloud Storage, or I wanted to create a table or a data set, or I wanted to create a cluster in the data proc, I wanted to create an environment, sir, I wanted to assign IAM policy, I wanted to create a service account. So if you wanted to do any of these activities, that can be done, sorry, that can be done using the cloud console, guys. So that can be done using the cloud console. What is a cloud console? A cloud console is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services visually. Okay, look at here. What is that one, sir? If I go to Google Cloud Platform, only whatever you are seeing is a console only. So this is a graphical user interface only. Right, sir, I wanted to work with Google Cloud Storage. Visually, I'm going to clicking on this particular thing. I go to the cloud storage. Visually, I'm interacting with it here. If you try to look at here, I'm going to click on here. By visually, I'm interacting with those services. So that is the reason it is called as graphical user interface. So if you wanted to create a bucket, so you are using the visual interface. Okay, so that is what we call as a cloud console. Hope that is clear. So you can create a bucket, or you can go to the BigQuery and create a table there, or you can create an IAM policy. You can go to the, you can provide an access to some person, or you can create a service account and assign the roles, or create some role. So whatever the thing you wanted to do it right in the Google Cloud Platform, that can be possible with the help of the Cloud Console, which is a graphical user interface. Okay, hope that is clear. Hope that is clear. What is console, sir? It is a web-based graphical user interface. And now let us go to the second method, that is Cloud Shell. Let us go to the second method, and let me gonna tell you what is a cloud shell. Okay, so cloud shell is a web-based command line interface. Okay, command line interface. What is this, sir? A cloud shell is a web-based command line interface. So in a command line interface, how do you interact with the services? Can anyone tell me? How do we interact with the GCP services, guys, in the command line interface? Usually, in a command line interfaces, we are going to interact with the services via commands, right? So, what is a cloud shell? If you ask me, sir, a cloud shell is a one of the web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. Via what, sir? Via commands, you are going to interact with the services. Sir, what we can do with a cloud shell? If you ask me, which we are doing, anything that we can do with the help of the console can also be done via shell as well. Can also be done via cloud shell as well, guys. So this is what is cloud shell. What is a cloud shell, sir? A cloud shell is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. So if you wanted to create a bucket in Google Cloud Storage using the cloud shell, what you have to do? Can you guess it? What we have to do? We need to come up with a command. We need to come up with a command to create that bucket. We need to come up with a command to create a table in the BigQuery. So Cloud Shell is a command line interface to interact with the GCP services, right? So let me gonna show you where is the, as I already told you, it is also web-based. Sir, you are saying it is a web-based. Can you show me where it is available over the web? Okay, when you go to the console, right? So when you are going to the console, here you have a one of the button that is Cloud Shell. If you guys are able to see it clearly, here we have a button that is Cloud Shell button beside your free trial status button, right? Reward button. You have that. That is what we call as a Cloud Shell. Activate Cloud Shell. When you click on this Activate Cloud Shell, you see at the bottom the Cloud Shell machine getting activated. What is this one? How it is available? If you ask me, sir, what exactly the Cloud Shell is? If you ask me, sir, Cloud Shell is a one of the virtual machine. It is a Linux based virtual machine. It is a Linux based virtual machine, sir. That is what is a Cloud Shell. What is a Cloud Shell, sir? A Cloud Shell is a one of the Linux based virtual machine, and it comes up with the pre-installed pre-installed client libraries. Client libraries. Okay, comes up with a pre-installed client libraries, guys. I would like to tell you this point also because some people get confused how this Cloud Shell is available to us. Okay, Cloud Shell is available to us via Linux-based virtual machine. Every user has their own Cloud Shell. Okay, that means has their own separate virtual machine. That is what we call as a Cloud Shell. Okay, it is a Linux-based virtual machine. It comes up with a pre-installed client library. Sir, what are those libraries? Can you tell me, sir? It comes up with a Python. You don't need to install Python also. Java, and you can Terraform. Okay, sorry, Terraform, or Docker, or many other things also. BQ command line, as well as GCS util command line, Gcloud command line, MySQL also you can use it. So plenty of these things you can use. What is this Cloud Shell, sir? If you wanted to use the Cloud Shell, I say that it is a command line interface so that you can use it to interact with the GCP services. So what exactly the Cloud Shell is, if you ask me, sir, Cloud Shell is a Linux-based virtual machine. Okay, a Linux-based virtual machine, it comes with the pre-installed client libraries. Okay, Linux-based virtual machine, and which is a command line interface, CLI. Okay, CLI. Let me gonna show you guys. As we clicked on this one, right? So as moment you click on this activate Cloud Shell button, right? So at the bottom, it will take 1 minute, and this entire Cloud Shell terminal gets opened for you. This entire Cloud Shell terminal, you can also move it up and down like this. So you can see here, or you can also open it in the new window also, that we will see later. Now look at here, this is your Cloud Shell terminal. So what we can do here, sir, we can do the way that we have done in the graphical user interface can also be done here. That means, sir, I wanted to see, for example, so I'll try to open it in the new window, sir. I would like to open it in the new windows. So if you wanted to do that, you see here you have a open in new window, so that entire sorry, sorry, that entire Cloud Shell terminal gets opened in the. Give me 1 minute. Let me drink some water. Sorry, guys. So that entire Cloud Shell terminal gets opened here, so you can close it here. So that, so here you can see this entire Cloud Shell is you can able to use it. So, sir, I wanted to list out all the buckets in the cloud storage. Sir, if I wanted to list out something in the graphical user interface, we have to go to that particular service and we click on that, right? Sir, I would like to go to the Google Cloud Storage. So I select with the cloud storage here. So this is a cloud storage, click on it. Right, this is a cloud storage, click on it. Okay, once you click on it, here, see here, you have all the buckets that are listed out here. How many buckets we have? Total 11 buckets are there that you can able to list it out with help of the graphical user interface. So similarly, I would like to do the same thing in the, I wanted to list out the buckets in the cloud storage with the help of the command line interface, with the help of the Cloud Shell. How can I do that? You have to issue a command here. What is that one? I am telling you the commands. I will tell you the commands in the upcoming sessions, but to let you know, this is how you can do that. GSutil ls. When you do GSutil ls, it will list out all the buckets inside the cloud storage. You see here, guys. So if you look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Total 11 buckets are there. So this is how, if you wanted to list out something in the cloud storage, not only that, sir, I go to the BigQuery, for example. So maybe if you go to the BigQuery, if you go to the BigQuery, sir, I would like to list out the data sets, or I would like to create. So maybe I'm not telling you how to create it in our upcoming sessions. That is an advanced topic, right? So if I tell you how to create something now itself, you may get confused, right? So that's the reason to let you know that. See here, we have dataset 1, dataset 2, datasets are there. So you can also use VQLS to list out the datasets here, 2 datasets. Sir, I would like to list out the tables inside this dataset, inside this data set. So BQLS, this particular data set, if you give, it will list out the so you have only one table here. If you go to the inside data set, see here, you have only one table. So something that you can able to do with the help of the cloud, Cloud Shell can also be done using the Cloud Console and the vice versa. Okay, so the only difference is that the way you are trying to interact with that particular service. So in the console, you are using the graphical user interface. In the Cloud Shell, you are using the command line interface. That's the only difference, guys. So that is what I would like to tell you for the Cloud Shell. Okay, so what is Cloud Shell, sir? A Cloud Shell is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with GCP services via commands. So the things that can able to done with help of the console can also be done using the Cloud Shell. But what is actually Cloud Shell? Ask me, sir. It is a Linux-based virtual machine. And sorry, guys. Yeah, is
Voice
my
is good.
voice okay? Isn't is it? 1 minute, guys. Let me restart. Let me refresh my things. Give me 1 minute. Can you guys confirm? Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Okay, great. Thank you guys for confirming. So what I was telling, In a Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface. You are going to interact with the GCP services via commands. So what is Cloud Shell? If you ask me, sir, it is a Linux-based virtual machine and it is a command line interface. It comes up with the pre-installed client libraries. Okay, so that is also there. And one more thing, if you actually look at the Cloud Shell, you are seeing two things. One is editor. See, you have a editor, you have a terminal. So terminal is this one, and this is your editor. Editor is like your code editor. Okay, so that means usually I would say that Cloud Shell has two phases. Cloud Shell has two phases. The first phase that is called as Cloud Shell terminal, and the second phase is Cloud Shell editor. Okay, so that is what I would like to tell you guys. So the final thing, Cloud Shell has two phases. One is terminal, one is editor. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what is what also. So this is terminal. Okay, and this is your edit. Again the voice is breaking. Some people are saying it's breaking. Confirm it, guys, please. Okay. Not sure what's the reason. Maybe whenever I'm using this particular editor, it could be happening like that. But let me write one time here. Okay, yeah, look at here, guys. So Cloud Shell has two phases. One is Cloud Shell terminal, and the second one is Cloud Shell editor. Okay, what is Cloud Shell terminal? If you ask me, sir, Cloud Shell terminal is a purely to run your commands. If you have some scripts, if you wanted to run it, you can go for Cloud Shell terminal. What is an editor is that it is like your code editor. Okay, a code editor is like if you wanted to create a code properly, a script if you wanted to create it, or a code you wanted to create it with help of different programming languages. In such a scenario, you can go for the editor. So this is your terminal. The bottom one is your terminal. The top one is your editor. Editor is like this, or if you wanted to create a script, okay, you can write the script like this. Whatever the script, if you wanted to write it, you can able to write it here. Okay, and here whatever the script that you have written, you can able to run it here, or also you can also create some scripts here also. But editor is like your graphical way of creating the scripts. So it comes up with the editing skills, but it does not come up with something like that. Okay, so you can say that you have a Cloud Shell editor. Whenever you wanted to use it for the code editing purpose, you can go for it. And it also supports version control system also. Okay, it also supports version control system also. You can also use it for that. So this is how you have two phases, guys. One is Cloud Shell terminal and Cloud Shell editor. Okay, so this is what is Cloud Shell. So until here, do you have any question? Please raise your hand, guys, on the console or a Cloud Shell. If anyone have any question on the console or a Cloud Shell, please tell me. If anyone have any question, please raise your hand, guys. If anyone have any question. So this is your console, guys, and this is your Cloud Shell. In the Cloud Shell, we have a terminal, we have an editor also. Okay, yeah.
So we can execute the
Yes,
code here, right?
yes, you can do that. Please always raise your hand so that I would like to know who is asking. Okay. Yes, Rohit, you have any question?
Yes, sir. So what is the size of this virtual machine over here?
Correct, correct. That's a very good question. So the virtual machine comes up with a 5 GB storage. Okay, it's a very small machine. And this virtual machine of 5 GB storage only, you can hardly use it for interacting only, cannot be used for any other activities. Okay, yeah, yes. And which is used mostly in the real time. If you ask me, sir, I would say that according to the requirement, there are few scenarios where we go for console. There are few scenarios where we go for Cloud Shell. Okay, so it totally depends on the requirement. Yeah. Yes, Pankaj, you have any question? Pankaj? That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, right? So that's it totally depends on the requirement. The cloud shell or a cloud console, it totally depends on the requirement. In some scenario, we are going with a console. In some scenario, we are going with a cloud shell. So by the end of these sessions, by the end of our course, I will only ask you, sir, in which services you go for the console, in which services you go for the cloud shell. If I ask you, at that point of time, you will be in a position to tell, sir, I will be in BigQuery, I go for the console. Okay, in BigQuery, I go for the console. And if I wanted to move the data from the local to the Google Cloud, I use the cloud shell. And if I wanted to create some kind of a clusters, instead of going for the graphical, I can directly go for the cloud shell. So it totally comes up with the practice, guys. And some scenario, if you wanted to do some kind of automated activities or automated scripts, if you wanted to run, you can go for the cloud shell again. Yeah. So this is how we have console and cloud shell. Of course, right? Of course, right? We have already covering it. If you already remember, I told you, right? So we are covering the Linux. You don't worry about that. The basic Linux commands we are going to cover. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Rizwan, you have any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, you have shown us like through the cloud cell we can access the services like
Correct.
bucket and all the
Correct.
things. So,
Correct.
so how we can access the services through editor which we have shown?
You mean to say this one?
Yes, is this one, or is this possible to get the access of services through this editor?
See, it's a command line interface. Editor is our terminal, both are comes under the cloud shell. First thing, it's a command line interface. Sir, I have some Python script. I would like to interact with some service. You can do that. You write some script, right? So, sir, I have some Python script. I would like to interact with the GCS. You can do that. Why can't you do that? Okay. So, Cloud Shell is a command line interface, whether it is an editor or terminal, both are command line interfaces. So, you write a command or you write a script. You can able to do that. Okay. Yeah.
So, will you show how to do that in upcoming
Of
sessions?
course. Of course. In our
Thank you,
upcoming
sir.
sessions, that's what we are going to do it, right? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our very, very basic sessions, guys. I would like you to get comfortable with these interfaces. Okay, don't think that sir is only talking about the basic activities today. So these are the things which are we are going to do. We are going to use it in the next 2 months every day. Almost every day we are going to use console or cloud shell. But if you wanted to get comfortable, if I directly go and show you how to create something today itself, some people may get confused, or some people may able to understand, some people may not be. So I wanted to give you a comfortableness during the session so that you can understand the things easily one by one. Okay, let us progress it in that way. Yeah. Okay, so we are good. That is what is console, now we know. What is cloud shell also we now know. So let's try to understand it. What is SDK? So SDK is a local based. It is a local based command line interface. What is this one, sir? SDK is a local based command line interface. So if you wanted to interact with the GCP services, if you wanted to interact with the GCP services, you can also do it via commands or scripts. Here also via commands or scripts you can able to do it, guys. So this is what is. If you wanted to interact with the GCP services, you can do it via commands or scripts. So this is what is SDK. What is SDK? What is the difference between Cloud Shell and SDK? So Cloud Shell that is available over the web. That is web-based. Just now I have shown you. So if you have a proper internet connection, then only you can go for the Cloud Shell. It is a web-based. And Cloud SDK, which is installed on top of your local machine as per your requirement of your operating system. So you have to download it as per your operating system. Your machine operating system will be there, right? So as per that, you have to download it and install it, and then you connect it to GCP, and then you interact with the services. then you interact with the GCP services. So this is what you have to do, guys. So what is SDK? It is a local based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via command sources. So what we have to do, whether it is local based, you have to download it and install it. Sir, how to download it? So you go to Google. So I have also pasted the link in the chat, guys. If you go click on this install SDK, you can click on this one. So this is a link you can also copy. So you will get an access to the notes. After that, you can go to this install SDK. So in the cloud basics, we are talking about our second topic, that is interfaces, cloud console, cloud shell, cloud SDK. So you copied the link and you pasted here, and you can able to go to this one. So this is where we have it, guys. So most of our operating systems in our local machine is Windows only. So if you wanted to install it, download it, you can just click on it. You can just click on this is a hyperlink. When you click on it, directly gets installed. See, it is directly gets downloaded. Okay, so if your operating system is Linux or Mac OS or Chromebook, whatever it is, you can also download it like this. You can go and click on the tar files. Okay, so compressed tar files, you can download it. For Chromebook also the same thing. You can click on these features. So that's how you can able to do it, guys, for multiple different operating systems. I hope most of our operating systems are Windows. So you can just click on it so that it gets downloaded like this. Once it is gets downloaded, you click on this on the web page. So this is how it is downloaded. So you click on it, double click on it. Once you double click on it, so this is how it opens. Click on next, click on agree, click on next, click on next, click on install. Click on install. That's it. So the CLI gets installed. It will take like 3 to 4 minutes, and it gets installed on top of your local machine. Okay, what is the first step? You have to download as per your operating system. If your operating system is Windows, so I have shared the link also in the chat, in sorry guys, in the notebook, right? So you can go to the install SDK, you have the link here. So once you click on it here, you go to this particular web page. Sorry, you go to this particular web page, you select your operating system and download it. For me, Windows is this one. Click on it. So once you click on it, it is hardly 5 MB so it is hardly 261 KB only. Once you click on it, so this is how the web page opens. So you should be clicking on next and click on install, so that it takes like 3 to 4 minutes for you to install it. Once it is installed, what we have to do, sir? Once it is installed, what we have to do? We have to connect it to the GCP, and then we can interact with the GCP services. How do we connect it? So I have already installed. So I will open like this SDK. You can search with SDK. You can see here Google Cloud SDK. Click on this one. So now, as I told you, what is SDK? What is the definition of SDK, guys? Can anyone tell me what is SDK? It is a it is a command line tool. It is a command line interface. See here, it's a command line interface opened up here also. See, so this is how. Okay, once the command line interface is opened for you, you have to connect it to the GCP. The command to connect it to the GCP also I have mentioned here. G-Cloud auth login. You have to use this command, that is G-Cloud auth login. G-Cloud auth login. Login means we are logging in the Google Cloud platform with our own account. I will be having some account, right? The Google account I'll be using. So see here, the moment sorry, why it is getting downloaded? Yeah, the moment I click on this enter button, it will go to the browser directly. Okay, it goes to the browser directly, and I select my account. Click on this account and click on continue and click on allow. So that you are allowing the SDK from the local machine to connect it to your Google Cloud account. So it is now, you are now authenticated with the Google Cloud CLI. See here, it is selected. Okay, it is selected properly. Okay, once it is selected properly, so the thing is that you have to set the project properly. But in our upcoming sessions, I will tell you how to set the project. For now, I'm going to change the project. Don't worry, because this project I would like to. This is my project ID. So if you wanted to, just remember like this. So whenever you wanted to change the project in the Cloud Shell, so G Cloud config set project and space project ID you have to give. So what is project name? This is your project name. When you click the project area, right? So this is your project area. You have a project name. This is your project ID. So G Cloud config set project space project ID. If you give the project ID, the project will change in the Cloud Shell or in the Cloud Shell or in the Cloud SDK. That's a command same. But if you want to in the project in the graphical user interface, it is very easy. Just click on this one. If I wanted to work with this one, you click on this project. Or if I wanted to work with this particular project ID, then I click on this one. So this is how you do in the graphical user interface. It is via you visually. But if you wanted to do the same thing in the command line interfaces, you issue a command here. That is gcloud config set project. Now tell me, earlier if you guys remember, so when I give gs util ls, I got this many buckets, isn't it? Sir, I would like to issue the same command, gs util ls. Okay, so would I be able to get the same buckets or not? Can anyone tell me? We should get it, right? So that's how, because whether you use console or a cloud shell or a cloud shell terminal, the interaction are only the different. The method of interaction should be only the different. The outcome should be same, right? So when I click on it, I should be getting the 11 buckets here also. See here, it's the same thing. So the same number of buckets here also you got it, right? So this is how the same thing BQLS, if you give 2 data sets, you should get it. BQLS inside data set. So one table you should be able to get it. So this is how you can also create some Python script also. You can able to interact with the GCP services. That is also there. We are going to see it in our upcoming sessions. Sir, I have some CSV file that is there in my local machine. I wanted to move it to the GCS. We can do that. I wanted to move it to the BigQuery. We can do that. So all of these activities, we can do it, guys. All of these activities in our upcoming sessions, we can see. So this is our third method of interacting with the GCP. This is our third method. You can see. So what is our third method, which is a local based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands and scripts. So if you wanted to work with SDK, as it is a local based, if you wanted to work with SDK, you have to download the SDK. SDK means the abbreviation is software development kit, guys. Okay. So SDK means software development kit. Okay, so if you wanted to with SDK via GCP services or whatever it is, so you have to download it as per your operating system. You have to install it on top of your local machine and connect it or log into your GCP account via SDK and interact with the GCP services. All of these things are there. Okay, so this is our third method of interacting with the GCP services, guys. One is console. Okay, sorry. One is console. Okay, the second one is Cloud Shell. The third Cloud SDK. The third one is what, sir? The third one is Cloud SDK. So this is how you have three interacting methods are there, guys. Okay, so this is how. Until here, anyone have any? I would like to talk about the fourth interacting method also. So these are the three interacting methods are there. If anyone have any question, you can ask me, guys. Please raise your hand. Yes, Mahesh, you have any question? Mahesh. I think you may be talking, but I can't hear you. Yes, I can hear you now. You can talk. Yes, yes, APIs. That's our fourth method. You can also do via. You can also interact via APIs. That is our fourth method of interacting with the services. Yes, I'm going to tell about that. Yeah. So that's also there. Yes, APIs and third-party tools. Correct. Yeah. We have to use the program, right? So you have to write a code, and in the code you mention your API and you mention the key for your API or some authentication method for your API, right? So that's how you interact with an APIs, right? Yeah. Not sure, guys. Maybe today my maybe my audio is breaking. Some people are telling. I'm not sure. Usually that never happens, but I'm really sorry for that. Maybe I'll take care of in the next time. I'll try to. I think I should have restarted my system. That's where it may be creating some kind of an issue. Okay. Yeah. Anyone have any question? Um. Yes, Ashok. Yes. Yeah. You can talk. Yeah. That's not a problem. Yes. That's not Telugu. Yeah. Yeah. You can go. You can go ahead. Yeah.
So this SDK comes with pre-installed library.
Anupam, I'll give you time. Wait. Okay. Anupam, I'll give you time. You raise your hands, guys. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Ashok. Okay. Of course. Of course. Cover yes. Yes. We are covering. Yeah. I mean, almost we are reaching that level. Yes. Yeah. Of course. Of course. So if you wanted to crack an interview with this course, it's very easy. I would say that almost many of the people got job with this course. For sure, it is going to help you. Okay. Yeah. I think you should attend my or you should connect with an admin, take the first demo and second demo. I think you missed that, right? This is third demo. Okay. Yeah. First two demos, you connect with an admin and get the two recordings, whatever you are asking, right? I have discussed in a very, very detailed way with each and every course content. Okay. So that's you get even whatever you're asking, one or two questions, right? And there, if you actually watch it, even it gets more clearful for you. Okay. You try to do that. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Anupam, you have any question? You are asking something. So this SDK comes up with a pre-installed library. That's what I'm telling you, right? So look at here. So sir, I would like to check Python. So Python hyphen version. Okay. So it's already there, Python 3.10. Okay. So Terraform hyphen version. So Terraform is version 1.5.7 is already there. Java OpenJDK 17, I guess. Yes, 17 is already there. Okay, so plenty of these things. It comes up with the pre-installed libraries already. Okay, yeah.
This is Cloud Shell, sir. This is Cloud Shell. I'm talking about Cloud SDK.
Cloud SDK doesn't support. Cloud SDK your local machine, right?
Local
SDK
machine. Yeah.
will be using your local things. Okay, will be
Yes.
using your local things. Yeah,
So we need to install Python, Java, and all.
in your local machine. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So so better to go Cloud Shell.
Yeah, anything is fine. But if you want, if you have some file, you are working from local, so that's where we use the local things only from
So
SDK. Yeah,
suppose in Cloud Shell Python version is 3.10, but I want to use Python 2.
upgrade it.
Anything.
You can upgrade it, low grade it. You can do anything.
Okay.
Upgrade or downgrade. Yeah, you can do. Okay, so that is how our three methods of interacting. The fourth method of interacting with the GCP services is via third-party tools. Okay, that is via third-party tools, guys. You may be having some third-party tools. Okay, whenever I'm using, so that's where it is throwing an error. I mean, that's where it is breaking our voices. So I'd like to mention it here. So that is third-party tools, guys. What are those third-party tools? Anything. Okay, so maybe you call it as a Informatica for storing some data. So Informatica is a what we call it as it's a ETL tool. It may extract the data from some source and it can load the data to the some of the Google Cloud services. So what Informatica is doing via Informatica, we can interact with the GCP services for loading the data. Right. So that is one way. And you can also have some SSIS, or you may have a Apache NiFi, or you may be having some kind of a Airflow. So plenty of these services that are there, which are third-party tools. That is nothing but maybe Power BI, which is also a Power BI or Tableau you can use. Okay, these are all external to the Google Cloud platform. So that's the reason we call it as a third-party tools. Okay, when you have an external services that you wanted to integrate with the GCP services, that is also possible. Okay, so with any of the services in the GCP. Okay, Power BI main most of them connected to the BigQuery. Airflow can be integrated with the GCP. Apache Knife can be loading the data to the GCS. SSIS may be loading the data to the GCS. So plenty of these things are there. So which can be external to the Google platform can be integrated with the GCP services. That is one thing. And one more is APIs. So you have REST APIs, you have different API configurations that are also, for example, you have some application running. That application is connected to the backend database. That backend database is there in the GCP. So via API, that particular application will have a backend database. This backend database in the GCP. Okay, so such kind of an activity is also happening in the Google Cloud platform, guys. Assume that you have some application. That application generating the data and it is supported by a backend database. This backend database is like, you can think of a Cloud SQL, which is in the Google Cloud platform. This is one of the service in the Google Cloud platform, which is connected via API. So this is about that. Or some people, what people do is that, sir, I write some Python program. Okay, I write some Python program. Within the Python program, I would like to interact with the GCP service via APIs. So that's also possible. Okay, so all of these things are that API is nothing but a application programming interface. Okay, application programming interfaces. With the help of that, you can able to interact with the GCP services also. So this is, we are going to see it the API method or the third party method. So mostly we never do that, but I'll try to make you understand in our upcoming sessions. But for API, you have an example directly. I'll show you that. We are having one of the project in that we are using the API method to connect it to some data source and extracting the data from some application. So that we are doing it. Yeah. So that you guys get some idea there. So this is our fourth method of interacting with the GCP services. Okay. Yeah. Whether you interact with it or some other application interact with it, that's an interface method only. So this is our fourth method, whether it could be a third party tool or an application programming interfaces. Okay, so this is what is interface methods that are available in the GCP, guys. I hope we have covered all the four. Right now, tell me, guys, to quickly recap. Okay, finally, I would like to tell you about the note. The note we have it, that is, these are the some of the common ways to interact with the GCP services. The choice of method depends on your preferences, requirements, and the type of interaction that you want to have it with the GCP resources. Here it is, you see here. So it totally depends on your project requirement, guys, first thing. And the second thing is that the type of interaction that you wanted to have with the resources. Some people are looking towards the console. Some people wanted to work via Cloud Shell. So it's totally the type of interaction according to your comfortable. And whether it is via user interface or a command line interface or a API or integration with any third party tools, it's your choice. Okay, it's your choice. Okay, yeah. And let us quickly recap. I would like you to tell me what is Cloud Console. Quickly. What is console? Cloud Console is a graphical user interface, right? What is a Cloud Shell? What is a Cloud Shell, guys? Which is a command line interface. What is a Cloud SDK? Which is a command line interface. Cloud Console, web-based. Web-based or browser-based. Cloud Shell, also web-based or browser-based. Cloud SDK, which is a local-based. That's it. Okay, so this is what we have seen today. Any questions with this one? I'm stopping the session here for today. It's, I think, 4 minutes to 10. If anyone have any questions, we have time, guys. You can ask me. Please raise your hand if anyone have any questions. This is it for today. Yes, Ravindra. See, it's not you and me decide it. Okay, it's the project decides it. Okay, so but if you have a flexibility that you can use anything, it's your choice again, right? So whichever it is comfortable for you, you can use it. But most of the times the project requirement actually decides it. Because see here, so what happens, one of the project recently, one of the guy working on the altimetric, and he asked me, sir, I have to move the data from BigQuery, one data set is there, sir. So requirement is, sir, he has to move the entire tables that are there in one data set. So he has data set one. In this ones, he has almost some 10 table. Let us take. Okay, he has to move it to the data set two. Okay, all the tables he has to move it to the data set two. Okay, this is the requirement. So if he has to do it using the console, how much time it will take? It will take a lot of time, and he has to write the scripts all. But he can write some shell script, and it would hardly take 1 or 2 minutes for him to move the entire thing. Okay, but what happened, he asked me, and I actually told him that I have given him the one of the shell script so that he was running it. But the moment he in the cloud shell, he's getting an error. Your organization does not allowing you to use this cloud shell, right? So he can't use the cloud shell. So it's your requirement. If you have access, you can do that. But for him, he does not have an access. He sent me a message also, sir, this pic, see it and tell me, sir, how can I do it? You do not have any method. You have to write a SQL code, or you have to do it manually. Only I told him. That's how. So it's your organization putting a restriction whether you have to use this one or that one. Okay. If you have the flexibility, it's your wish. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Anyone have any other questions? Anyone plus for today? Okay. Those who have missed the previous sessions, what you have to do, connect with an admin and try to get the previous recordings. We have successfully completed all the free 3 demos, guys. So 3 demos, these 3 demos are free. Okay. And we have completed that. Okay. And if the regular sessions, that means the continuation sessions, will start from Monday. Will start from Monday. So in our Monday, we are going to start with the GCP console walkthrough. That is our next topic. Console walkthrough we are going to start on Monday. So for those only for the paid people, you have to complete the payment, guys. So just now the admin pinged me. So for the next session, if you wanted to attend, the link will be changed. If you wanted to attend the continuation sessions, you have to connect with an admin and complete the payment. Okay. So whether you are my students or whether you are coming from whichever the institute, what you have to do. So if you are my students, you can connect with me. If you are some other students, you can connect with that particular admin, and they will help you how to enroll for the course. One thing, first thing. So while you are doing the enroll, just don't pay and leave it like that. So and for the course, okay, once you enroll, pay the amount, first thing. And second thing, once you paid the amount, ask for the access. To access to what, sir? Access to the notes you have to ask. Access to the writings you have to ask. Access to the Zoom link also. Zoom, every day you have to join the Zoom live session only, right? A live session link also you have to ask. These three, get it confirmed with the admin. So while you are doing the enrollment, try to complete these things. Don't ask me later, sir, I do not have an recordings access, because even I don't get the recordings access. Okay, entire things are taken care by the admin only. So what you have to do, so whoever is your concerned person, connect with them and they will provide the access. If you are my students, or if you are coming from this institute or that institute, whatever it is, wherever the course is, whether you are attending this course or whether any other course, whenever you are paying money, get the entire access properly. Get the entire access properly. Ask for the notes, ask for the recordings, and the Zoom session links also. Okay, all the things you ask it. Once you have got the access, from Monday onwards, you can start the regular sessions. We are going to start the walkthrough. Okay, so there I am going to tell you what is project setup, enabling the billing management, tracking the billing, all of those details we are going to see here. Okay, hope that is clear. Okay, yeah. Admin will call you guys. I hope you have your numbers are with admin. So admin will call you directly. Don't worry about that. Yes, Deepak, you have any question? Deepang, sorry.
So timings.
This are timings are same. There isn't any difference in the timing. The timings are same, guys. Timings 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay,
There is a
9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
morning
And
session.
one more thing is that morning session is in the middle, guys. It takes one more month for it to be completed. Okay.
And so yeah, you
Yeah.
told to create dummy resume. I tried, but I did not get any call.
Correct. Isn't it? You did not. I think it's Friday, right? At least I told you to wait for 2 days at least. Okay. You wait Monday 5 p.m. if you're not getting the calls. Okay. So did you at least put GCP data engineer, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Airflow? At least some 4 to 5 keywords you have to put it, right? Okay. A dummy resume with your name and your phone number, and you have to mention GCP data engineer as a role. 4 5 keywords. One is data proc, one is data flow, one is composer. Names at least. You don't have to mention the sentences also. BigQuery, data proc, data flow, airflow, Google Cloud Storage, composer. That's it. If you mention these keywords, for sure you will get it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, anyone?
Sir,
Yeah.
this time 9 p.m. is fine right now for me, but after
Uh-huh.
some time my project timing will be changed.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
2 p.m. to 10. So I think sometime not possible to attend 9 p.m. So can we change shift timing, best timing if there is any case?
No, I don't think so. This timing is sure. But if you wanted to have a recordings, you can do that. If you wanted to join the morning batch, at that time also you can do that. So that's facility you can ask for the admin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyone have any other questions, guys? Please.
So Azure is better or GCP because Azure is used by many companies.
I wouldn't say like that. So all are good, guys. So it's like this. You have all the things. AWS have the opportunities. Azure is having the opportunities. GCP also. But Azure is already there in the market from the last 5 6 years. Competing with the already skilled professionals is not easy because, like you, people might have learned the Azure 3 to 4 years before itself. Now you may be learning the Azure. Okay, now tell me, if you go for an interview, you are competing with those persons. You are already skilled, but GCP is not like that. GCP is a leading cloud provider. Plenty of companies. I'm telling you guys, plenty of companies. For sure, if you just create a dummy resume, put it in the Naukri, at least 4 to 5 calls you will get it. Okay, wait for Monday 5 to 6 p.m. In between that range, at least 5 to 6 calls you will get. Okay, so for sure, because that's how the demand for the GCP data engineers are there for. Okay, it's your choice whether you wanted to go for any of this one. It is your choice. Take a proper decision. And after taking some course, and it's a waste of time of 2 months. You have to think about that also. You can't come back, but it's your choice whether it. I mean, end of the day, it is your life. It is your career. You have to take a proper decision. Yeah, no one is there to force you. Yeah. Okay, so this is CK. Yeah. Okay. If some concepts are not clear, then we can join for next batch also. Yeah, you can do that, guys. That's not a problem. Yes. If some of the concepts are not clear for you, and sir, I would like to join the next batch, you can do that. That's not a problem. Yeah. You can connect with an admin. Yeah. Okay. 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 All right. This is it for today, guys. Please complete your enrollments. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed these 3 demo sessions. And if you guys have any questions, you can always connect with an admin. If you wanted to speak with me also, you can connect with an admin and he will connect with me so that we can also talk. That is also possible. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye, guys. We will meet in next session. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.